Alright fellas, here we are back in Pokemon Masters, and I want to start off this video by saying I am really fucking sick right now, so if I sound like I'm dying, I probably am, and yeah, so don't mind any difference in the voice or any pauses for breathing, coughing, whatever it may be, but anyway, whatever. So I'm going to just make this video because it's interesting to me. I'm going to start this by saying don't do anything that is shown in this video. That would be your smartest decision. Anything that you do, you're not holding me accountable. I told you not to do it. And it should be common sense not to do it as well. So, going into this, we've pretty much found someone on Pokemon Masters that was able to actually copy or make a grid for Suit Hilda, which was an entirely maxed out 5 out of 5 grid. No, it went over the 60 energy cap. You can scroll down here in this little Reddit post that was made, and this user here copied the grid to a 2 out of 5 Suit Hilda, and it maxed out all of the nodes. Minus 66 energy, it is set, right? The grid is set itself. And you can use this in-game. It functions completely it seems without problem in game, because there were video replays of it. All the passives procking, they beat the stage. This is Fire Week Glacia in this week's Hoenn Champion Stadium. And yeah, they made a Suit Hilda grid that is completely maxed out. So I want to say people are speculating if this is a hacker, an exploiter, a developer, or like someone testing out the new grid energy cap feature, because obviously we are going to be getting an upgrade for the grid energy system to where we can use more energy or something like that. We don't know how much, we don't know how it's going to work, but people are having a little bit of speculation that this is a part of that, maybe some sort of test or something. And I kind of just wanted to talk about it. Absol's made a post on it just very, very recently. I was going to make a video on this yesterday, but I found out about this at like 7 p.m. when I woke up from a nap. And yeah, so I didn't make a video over it yesterday, but I will be making the video over it, obviously, right now. Also, the Reddit Discord made a post saying not to talk about it and whatnot, and obviously sharing the details of the exploiter are gonna, negatively impact your, I guess negatively impact you on the server, right? Don't break rules, which obviously, of course, don't do it. And again, as I said, don't try and replicate this glitch, but being completely transparent and honest, if you wanted to right now, you could go and find this Hilda. I don't know if it's still up today. It may be, I don't know, maybe the team is filtered out through the recommended team system, because this Hilda was found via the recommended teams system for the Fire Week Glacia battle, and you can get that Hilda, and you can copy that grid to any of a 1 out of 5 to 5 out of 5 Hilda, and you will have a max grid. Don't do it. As I said, don't do it. It's not a good idea to try to. People are campaigning and saying that there's a high probability of you getting banned if you do that. I would disagree, but there is obviously that chance. There is always that chance that doing anything without, outside of the game's limitations will result in you getting punished in some form. So don't risk your account. Obviously, if you care enough about your account, don't risk it by, abusing this perk. Not a smart idea, right? I made a post or reply to the comment myself. I made a post myself replying to that with this, and I just made the assumption here. Obviously, I could be wrong. I'm not a genius or anything, and I obviously don't have much expertise in the field. But using some information that I've had for other games, I figured that this is likely an exploit, because back in Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle, there was some major exploits that went on for years without being found, because people managed to keep quiet about it. It was a small group of people that knew, they kept quiet, they didn't make it public or anything, and they never made any glitches that they knew of public. There was a system where you could feed in dupes of a character by only having one dupe. Like, you can max out a character by only having, I think, 2 copies total, which you would need like 5 otherwise, which is an extremely impactful bug, right, that people were abusing. It was not a very widely known bug until 90% of the community didn't even know about it until it was patched. So it just goes to show that there are sometimes bugs and exploits that people will not talk about. They will see them and be like, okay, we're going to abuse this, but we're not going to tell anyone else about this and whatnot, right? And that's definitely a possible scenario. People could have definitely figured this out by themselves and just not said a single word about it. People, surprisingly, can stay quiet about that stuff, right? People can definitely stay quiet about that stuff and not, like, release it to the public. And so clearly right now where they messed up, got their stage clear on the recommended teams feature, and then people found out, right? Wouldn't surprise me if this is a bug that has been going on for literal years that just was never noticed until now. So it does not surprise me. Obviously, the other possibility is that there is a hack. Definitely a possibility that there is some sort of hack to Pokemon Masters that is able to cheat in an infinite sync grid. I don't know anything about that stuff. I don't know how, the tech required to do that is. I don't know of any like hacking communities or whatnot, but clearly that stuff is also extremely hush-hush, right? Because clearly I don't think many people know about at least how to hack. Maybe people know that there are hacks, but no one knows how to. Except like obviously a very small group of people. So do keep that in mind. A hack is possible. I think it being an exploit is more likely, but a hack itself is definitely possible as well. I'm not going to discredit the idea. It's because it definitely could be a thing. It definitely could be a hack, 100%. And then obviously the third option people were thinking about is if it's some sort of test for the new grid energy system. I really don't think it's this. I don't think that there is any way that, for one, this is a full grid. This is a full grid of Hilda that is completely maxed out. So when they say updates to grid energy, I don't think that they were talking about literally being able to select every single tile in the grid with a seemingly minimal drawback, right? I don't think that's what they meant by doing this or anything like that. So I would not expect that. I would not expect to be able to max out Hilda's grid or any other character's grid like this, especially not for like free or anything like that. So I really doubt it's a test of that system. If it was a test of that system, I feel it would be more likely to see illegal energy, yeah, but like maybe minus 20, minus 30 at most, not the literal full grid, which is what this is. Obviously, it could be a test in like the early phases of development or something like that, but I really don't feel like they would test out this feature with a maxed out grid. I just don't think that would happen. And obviously, this is in the confines of the game itself. So I don't think that if they were doing this, that the clear would actually pop up in the actual stadium battle. I think the most likely options are that it's either an exploit or a hack. I'm personally leaning towards exploit, but obviously hack is definitely another likely possibility. And yeah, I just kind of wanted to talk about this. It was very interesting. And obviously for whoever has managed to make this hack or exploit or abuse the exploit rather, can you do this? Can you make one of these? And then, you know, I'll just pop in, take it. I'll risk getting banned. That's fine. No, I'm kidding. But onto the part about actually like banning the player base. I don't think anyone's gonna get banned. I really doubt it. Maybe if it is an actual hack, the people who are actually hacking the game, there's a chance obviously they would get banned, or at least potentially even put in a fucking lawsuit. Who knows? It's probably there's a decent possibility of that happening. You know, tampering with the game and whatnot, but I doubt anyone who actively abuses this bug is going to get banned. I know that sounds weird, but if you think about it as from a responsible company perspective, which I know we make a lot of jokes about DNA and whatnot, but realistically speaking, they are relatively professional, right? I mean, they would definitely have to think twice before like banning someone, because there is an extremely real possibility. Obviously, people now know about this grid, and they're going to be going to the grid, copying the grid for the purpose of exploiting it, right? That is something that people are doing. But there's also the other side of the coin, the lower side, rather, I guess. Like, less people are doing this, but it's still real. Where there's casual players, people who may not even be tuned into the Pokemon Masters community, that are trying to beat Glacia, struggling, looking in the recommended team section, saying, oh, this is a setup that I have. I've got a 5 out of 5 Signature Hilda. I've got a Gordy. I can do this setup. So they copy the setup, they copy the grids, and now they unknowingly have a maxed out Signature Hilda grid just because they were making use of features that are inside of the game itself. I do think that is the primary reason on why no one will very likely get banned from this. I think that's the most likely outcome is that Signature Hilda grids simply get reset or reverted back to something normal. And obviously, you know, sync orbs probably get refunded and whatnot and that type of stuff, but I doubt anyone's going to get banned. There's going to be probably that statement message that's going to pop up in the news saying anyone making abuse of any exploits in Pokemon Masters are going to be susceptible to, you know, being punished by the terms of service or terms of use or whatever it may be, but that's just a general public message. It's like a threat. It's not really something that is actually going to go anywhere generally. I've seen this stuff happen before. Again, back to my example in Dokkan, there was a major glitch, which basically allowed you to multiply character damage and do extremely large amount of damage, and beat pretty much any stage in the game with extreme ease. And that bug was patched probably a week or so after it was really figured out. And then no one got banned. They obviously made that PSA saying anyone that was doing this may be susceptible to being banned, but no one ended up actually getting banned. No one ended up getting banned. No one reported it or anything like that. So clearly in that situation, nothing happened. And I don't think anything will happen here either, because it's extremely possible for this bug to be replicated by someone who doesn't even know that this is a bug. There's literally the high possibility that a random player that, again, is not even tuned into the Pokemon Masters community walks up to this stage, copies this setup because they either are, too lazy to maybe make their setup, or they are having struggles or whatever it may be. They copy the setup, copy the grids, and they don't even think about it. I don't think it's justified for a person like that to get banned, and I really doubt that they're going to ban anyone because of the real possibility of that happening. Sure, there are people legitimately exploiting this, and obviously that you can claim that to be a very negative thing, and obviously definitely still susceptible to the terms of service, but actively breaking the terms of service without knowing it is an extremely likely possibility here, and I really doubt that DNA would actually ban someone's account for doing that. I really do doubt it, because it's just it's two sides of a coin. There's the real possibility of actual exploiters abusing this bug, and then there's the chance of casual players who don't know any better exploiting this bug. I don't think they would risk the accounts of their casual players that literally did nothing wrong to be banned just because they accidentally copied a grid that was made public. Like, this grid is extremely out there, right? Like, this whole setup is extremely out there. So I don't know why they would opt to try and ban someone for using something that is, extremely really, it's put forward. You don't have to dig, really, and probably find the setup. There's a very real situation in where you can actually find this grid. So I just don't see it happening. I don't see a ban happening at all, because that would just be extremely irresponsible, in my opinion. Like, yeah, do hackers or exploiters or people who exploit bugs deserve to be banned? For one, no. I don't think people who abuse exploits should be banned. That's kind of on the game's confines and issues and whatnot, but that's not really the point. Do I think those people should be banned? No, not really, but like, you can say the argument, sure, that they could be banned, but I don't think that a player who accidentally or unintentionally copied a grid like this or exploited a bug, again, unintentionally, should have to reap the same consequences as someone who did actively exploit that bug. And that's why I don't think anything's going to happen. I don't think anything's going to happen just because of that very reason, and I don't think you should expect anything to happen either, other than obviously like probably just resets of Signature Hilda's grid, and then refunding of sync orbs, and obviously the PSA saying if you exploit the bug you'll be banned, or there's a probability of you being banned or whatever. But again, that ban's unlikely to happen. It's just a threat message to see like, hey, don't do this stuff, or else or whatever else, right? So yeah, I just wanted to make a little overview for this glitch and whatnot. Again, I'm pretty sure you can go and actively try and copy this grid right now to some success, but I wouldn't recommend it. Obviously, there is the low chance that you do get banned. There is the chance that DNA are stupid and get ban you, right? But I doubt it's going to happen. But again, don't risk your account. It's even more stupid to risk your account on something you can very easily just not do than to actively go and do something that again you can go out of your way to not do, right? You don't have to copy this grid, so just don't. It would be the smartest decision for you and whatnot, right? So yeah, pursue at your own risk, I guess. Pursue at your own risk. If you really think it's worth it to get your account banned for this little bit of fun with Signature Hilda, do whatever you want. I'm not your fucking mother, and I'm not gonna say do or don't do something, but I recommend don't do it. Don't do it, and that's how we're gonna end this video. I'll see y'all later. Hope y'all enjoyed. Valentine's Candace's overview should be up later today. Again, I'm sick and I'm pretty busy today, so I don't know how that's gonna go, but I'll figure it out. I'll see y'all later. Hope y'all enjoyed.